Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Awesome Gem here, and I'm ready to fucking fix this shit for once and for all, okay? Let's begin with how horrible FIFA 15 match simulation is, alright? Okay. So recently I posted this on FIFA Curious Reddit, where the true, carry mid players, this is where you'll actually find the truth of the carry mode. These people don't talk bullshit, they talk what they get from the game, which is bullshit. So, yeah. So I was simming this match and this frustrated me. I was basically Southampton and I just was bored playing 6 matches in a row, so I decided to sim once. Okay? And that fucking happened. Yep. That totally makes sense. Long injured comes off for Pele. Pele gets injured again. I mean, what kind of bullshit is this? Okay, I'll calm down a little bit. This is not a rage video or anything like that, okay? I finally figured out how simulation works. Although there's one thing that I haven't fully figured it out, but I want you guys to figure it out and help me with it. Um, this is only for PC users. I'm sorry, but console users, I, I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sorry for you guys, um, but basically we need to do a bit of a start to begin, exploring the simulation for FIFA 15, and this goes for CPU simulation, player simulation, everything. It basically makes up the carry mode, to be honest. The title chase, the relegation, and just score lines and all sorts of stuff. So, and who's scoring the goal, who's assisting, and everything. I'll show you guys that later. So basically, first of all, okay, you just don't want to get your ass banned by EA. So the best thing you would want to do is just make sure you're offline on the origin, and then make sure if you're still kind of scared, if you get because they don't like people modding their game for some reasons. You could always go to game copy world and just get this. So if you're just a single player user like I am, because I fucking hate pay to win ultimate team, just get this and download this. Okay? Yeah, alright. So download that and it will give you instruction how to install. I don't remember, to be honest. Just make sure to download this, okay? To download this, just click this. Basically they got, I don't know, just get the version 3, I suppose. I think that's what I got. And yeah, make sure to just install it. And I'm pretty sure there's an instruction showing that you gotta do that and do this, but you don't really have to do this. But if you're really scared of getting banned from EA, then might as well. So once you do that, then there's gonna be a lot of freaking random files on your FIFA folder, and make sure you're still offline just in case. And let's begin. So the another thing you're gonna have to download is this regenerator tool. It will just regenerate the BH files. So just hit download, and it's pretty simple downloading. Just click this and just save it wherever you want, and we'll close this up, and you'll get extracted and you'll get this. Okay, now you don't have to open this yet again, because we need to do something first. We need to go to the FIFA 15 folder and go inside the DLC folder and go inside this football comp engine, or ENG. Go inside the DLC folder and go inside that folder again for some reason. And maybe you won't have this folder on your, you know, thing. And if you don't worry. You can just create that folder. And I'm using another carrier mode path, so I have all these files. But the file you want to care about is this file. Now this file, I'll put the link in the description below for you to download. So just get the file and just put it there. Okay, the link I will send you will be the raw, you know, the raw actual like vanilla data for the simulation settings for FIFA 15. So when you get that, just put it here and then open it. I use Notepad++ because it makes things more readable. You can just Google it and install it, to be honest, and just edit with Notepad++, and it'll open up. It'll open up this, because this is actually the vanilla file, and this is my edited version. I'll tell you what I changed. So once you do that, just make sure once you put the file in here, go back to the regenerator and double click it, and it will take time to load. Just ignore these messages. So I don't know what the point of those are. It's probably because of updates. And just hang on a second. And by the way, you do not want to play online with this patch applied. I know most of you guys like hate freaking Ultimate Team and love carrier mode, so I don't think you guys will have any problem with it, to be honest. Let it load. It takes a little bit of time to load, not a lot of time. And just make sure to hit regenerator. Just click that, and it'll, after like 5 seconds, it'll say that it's done. And you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So it will tell index file regeneration operation completed, ready to work, and you can just exit it. That's basically all you need to do. Alright, so to make sure that if it worked or not, you can go back to your FIFA folder, 15 folder, and check if the date modified is like the current time of your computer. So that means that it was modified, which should be good. Alright, now you have the regenerator, and you have done basically what that does. It just points FIFA 15 to use our own custom sim settings instead of their rubbish one. So now you can just go ahead and run your FIFA, which I'll do that. I hope I'm in windowed mode. I should be. And if this says something like enhance and stuff like that, it means that you did it properly. And before you do this, make sure you have sim settings inside, you know, this folder. It doesn't matter which one you have. Make sure you have the one which was downloaded, just, you know, so we're on the same page. And yeah, wait for it to load. Man, it's too loud. Sorry about that. Okay, that's better. If you're using the patch, then it will just play it offline, so you don't have to worry about, you know, getting caught or anything. Alright, so now for the fun part, okay, just create a new carrier. Don't use your existing carrier for this test, so that if you mess up like a sim, it doesn't autosave or anything crazy like that happens. So I'm gonna choose Chelsea because it's the best EPL team, and current customize, 'cause why not? Just wait. It takes time. This is just to show you that how it will work. And just overwrites test. Alright, so we're into this thing, and yeah, so I just going to skip until the first match so we can see the test. Alright, let's hang on a second. I don't know if you guys find this complicated. If that's so, just comment what you are not getting and I'll try to explain. We want to work this as a team to freaking, make this a heck lot of better than the rubbish sim settings we get by default. I'm really sad I can get, consoles users, into this, but I don't know. Like, I only know how to edit in PC, sorry. Okay. So, we are on the first match, and what are you gonna do is just save it so you don't have to do that all over again. And then just exit it. So every time you load the game, basically is gonna load the data again from here. So every time you make changes, make sure to continue carrier again to see the changes. Alright, so basically you'll have something like this and not something like this. Wait, you'll have something like this and not something like that. So this is the original files, and I'll explain everything. So I don't know which one to start, from top to bottom or bottom to top. I don't know. But there's one more thing. Oh, I think I told you guys already about the away issue. I don't know. It's just, I think it's hard coded, or maybe there could be some you guys can figure it out to fix that. But alright, let's start with this. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Number of players on pitch, regular time, extra time, number of penalties. You get that. Yeah. It's just self-explanatory. So 30 minutes, 90 minutes, 5 penalties, 11 players. So on there's this asserts. Oh, just make sure it's disabled, because if it's enabled, you'll get, like, if the score is like, if the score is like 8-0, 7-0, it will just get it down to something like 3-0, or I don't know. It just makes sim settings a little bit harder to do. So just make sure it's 0 and 0, which should be by default. Anyway, now the interesting part, the scale. Oh my god, it took me so much time to understand this. Alright, there can be maximum of 10 scales, okay? So what I did on my edited version is I made use of all the scales, so I have more, calculation over the difference between a good team and a bad team. The scoreline difference. So even a bad team, have a chance to win. So yeah. So basically the scales represent the scale of this thing. You see this number 1 to 8, this number equals the scale. So basically this is how it's going on. If the difference between, and this is calculated by team overall, is the overall rating for your team. And I figured it out that when I went to the DB, there's a team overall, which is basically like in total based on the form how good a team is playing. So yeah, so there is 2 teams playing obviously, and the difference between them is showing on the scale. Okay? So basically, if the difference is like, by like 1 point, then it will go look up the scale 1, which is this scale 1. And if the difference is like more than 1 and less than 2, and then it will go ahead and look at this number, Because see, it's 2. So it's gonna specify whatever scale value it is. So for example, the difference between Chelsea and Tottenham is like 3 or 2. So it'll be like, okay, so 2 should go to the 2 scale because it's 2.0. So then it will go to this one and be like, okay, so which scale are we talking about? We're talking about the 2 scale, which is the difference of 2.0. So if it's that, then do this. Then if it's that, then do this, because it's all based on the scale of this one. I hope you guys can understand it. So this is the difference. So what I did was I just changed the number, and you can copy the values I have in here. So basically added 10 skills. I changed this to 10 because it said that I can use 10 skills, and I did it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if after 6 it automatically went to 10 in here. So I added like 7, 8 to have like more differences, more calculation. And obviously the last value needs to be really higher. So if it's if it's not within this scale, if it's higher than that, then it should be in this scale, which is really unlikely. But I don't know if there's possibilities. I don't know if there's a 0-star team or a really bad rated team. So yeah, that's that. So what I did, and I'll show you guys this. Alright, no, sorry. I'll have to explain to you guys about this before I show you like how you can know what this quality value is, which is the difference between team overall rating. So now we have, explained you guys this is based on scale. So I added 2 more skills. So I added 2 more, values on here too. So yeah, now I'll explain you another interesting part. So there's 2 groups: strong, which starts from here. Oh, by the way, 2 slashes means that it's just a comment. A comment is just for user to read. It wouldn't affect the actual, FIFA data. So you can, if you want to type something within a comment, they will ignore it. So you can type whatever you want, but make sure you have double slash before. So yeah, so this is one group. This is group if the difference, the difference between the 2 teams, and the stronger team will have this value and the weaker team will have this value. Now you must be asking what the value represent. Will represent the minimum score and the maximum score. So if the difference between them is on scale 1, which is 1.0, then the minimum score would be 1. Well, I specified this value, but for you, the minimum score would be like 2, and the maximum score would be like 4. So basically, now you kind of understand. Basically, your mind already kind of figured out what it actually does. So if the difference is like 100, which is really unlikely, which is signified as scale 10, obviously, then it'll be like the minimum score would be 10 goals and the maximum score would be 12 goals. So you understand what I'm trying to do here. Alright. Okay, so now we cleared about that, okay? So this is the minimum score, this is the maximum score. And it's all up to based on scale. So whatever scale you choose, you have to specify in here as well. You need to specify here as well. And this number is actually looking at this number. And whatever the value inside this number is the actual difference. So if it's a strong, then the difference would be good. If it's a weak team, which is, the bad team, the difference would be bad. So if you have a difference of scale 9, which is 10, then that's really bad. you know. Alright, so you guys kinda understood it, so now you're probably like, let's find out the values. So before I do that, I was just gonna make a backup copy of this. Just gonna paste it here and save it as on the desktop backup, so I don't want to ruin my data because it took me a while to figure it out. Alright, I'm just gonna do backup. Oh god, I have so much backups. Yeah, I messed with carry modes a lot, guys. You don't know how deep I went just to find out stuff. You can call me obsessed, but I just want to perfect things. I don't know why. It's always kind of like that person, but let me just. I don't care. Just save it as whatever. Okay. So this is the default thing which you guys will have, and this is my custom thing. So you guys can copy me and just add the 10 skills. So all you need to do is change the skills to 10 and add 2 more skill in here, and make sure the values are the same. Don't mess with this value, like it just makes it like you really don't have to. The main thing we're gonna focus on is this 2 groups, the strong and the weak, you know. Alright, so you can copy my values. I'll give you guys my values so you can make your own one depending on your preference. I'm not the best, you know, in doing these values. That's why I'm teaching you guys what to do. So some people get the most brilliant, you know, formula, and I'll steal his thing and put it on my career mode so I can finally enjoy it. So that's the only reason I'm doing it. Alright, so basically, to begin with, let's just put all to 0, okay? We want to see the difference. Alright, so here is how I found the difference between 2 teams. So it's based on obviously the how much your player is rated, the player who's playing on your team at the moment, and their form, and some other stuff that influences, which I don't exactly know how team overall works in FIFA 15. Maybe some of you guys will know. So I'm gonna just put everything to 0 so we can just begin. Alright, so now if you're about to play the match right now, make sure to save it and go there and continue. Then it should be 0-0 for all the scores. No matter how good the team is. So something like that. That is changed. You guys notice like a bug there? Well, it's actually not a bug. So basically, you know how you can see their lineup. Just wait a little bit for the lineup to load and then skip. So that'll fix it. Alright, so as you guys can see that it's 0-0, which is meant to be that way because we put all the score to 0-0, the minimum, the maximum. Alright, so we don't know what's the difference between them yet, but we can say that I've never heard about the team, so the team must be a little bit bad. I mean, I don't actually know, so I'm gonna put the minimum score. Now you guys will see it, okay? So before you change this, one thing I want you guys to do is just scroll down, just ignore all the other things you see in here, and just scroll down until you see a thing called incident, and set this to a value like 200, okay? And that is just to increase the number of gold card and injuries combined. Alright, so once you change that to 200, you can always change it back. So go back up, and alright, so we're back here. Alright, now let's assume that the difference between my team and their team is probably gonna be 6. I don't know yet. So let's say the score will be 100. Minimum score and the maximum score will be 100. There's still randomization between this. It's not that huge difference, but let's see if we're right. So make sure to save it and then load your thing, carrier thing, and let's see if we're right. I highly doubt it. Oh, we were actually right. Yeah. Okay, so the difference between those two teams were actually 6. A way to prove it is to just see that it's 51 goals. Yeah. So we know that we changed the right value. And now, just to let's see what kind of values influence this rating. How about we test it a little bit? So let's change. Let's put Drogba on, okay? So we have more. We have just a little bit more rating. For me, the form will be different. Let's keep Zuma on. And yeah, I'm a Chelsea fan. If you guys didn't notice, okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see if that makes any difference. So Drogba, with Drogba still being on, there hasn't been much difference on the team overall. So I guess the value is, it takes a bit of filling to do to make it significant. So what if we put Cahill on? Okay, so we just replace the 75 rated with the 81 rated defender. Now if we save it, let's see if that makes any change. Okay, that is still on the zone of 6, which is 6.0. So if it's greater than 5, it's greater than 0.0 and less than 6.0, basically that's what it means. If the difference is 6 at the max. Okay. So it's still 6. Let's see. Let's play with the team a little bit more, okay? We brought Cahill in, and how about we bring let's see, Costa in. Let's see if that makes any difference. Yeah, let's see if that makes any difference. I'm sorry, this is gonna be a long video. I hope you guys can endure the waiting, how long this video is gonna be, because it's a lot of, testing, trial and error here and there. So let's test this and skip it. See, so bringing Costa changed our team overall, so I'm pretty sure that increased the rating to 7. So let's try 7. Let's put the other one be 0 and let's change to 7. Scale 7 is the difference of 7 in team overall. And let's see if that is the case. And make sure to save your editing whenever you update it. And you have to load it up back again. And sim the match. Let's see. Let's see if it's 7. So Diego Costa actually increased the team overall a little bit. So I don't know if it plays a role on the team morale or team form, but you've seen that it actually plays a role in the rating of the players. Not sure about okay, let's see what if we play players out of position. Let's try that. This is your answer to a lot of myths on FIFA simulation as well. Alright, let's change this. And alright, let's just put him here, put Fabregas here, put Oscar on the striker. Let's just completely change out the position. Let's keep the keeper the same. Let's see if that makes any difference. If it does, you guys will know that playing out of position actually makes difference. Okay, so playing out of position makes difference on the team overall settings. So make sure you have players for your position. Let me see if it. I'm pretty sure it makes a bad difference, because it's pretty self-explanatory. You guys can check by, you know, going to lower values and seeing if it actually makes bad difference, bad influence on the team rating. Um, all right. So now let's see if the formation, changing the formation, helps with the score line. We'll test that after I fix the position. All right. Let's put the formation to like something like that. Okay. It's not a huge change. It's just a minor change, but it's still a change. And let's put Matic in here. So formation, players can still play on this formation. It's not a huge difference. Let me see if that's gonna give us a score line, or is it actually gonna make a major difference on the team overall. Nope, didn't seem like it made a huge difference. So I guess I don't know if formation makes any difference to your sim matches. So, but we know for a fact that playing out of position or the rating affects a lot, you know, on the thing, on the sim. So now you know what the difference is and how to calculate it. So for the weak team, it's gonna be they're weak by. So if you want the weak, let's see if they're actually weak by 7. And so we're gonna have a huge score line in just a second. Like both teams gonna just batter up. You can just try and error it a little bit, and you'll figure out what the deal is. And we'll see that there's a freaking huge score line between the teams. I don't know who will win. Oh, Chelsea won by 1 goal. This is kind of like basketball match, to be honest with you. And Costa got injured. We'll go to the injury next in a second. Alright. So now you guys kind of figure it out. And I'll send you my data on the link below too. So you guys can use my data. But my data isn't the best, I'll tell you guys. Just I really want to imitate like how how teams, like what the score is usually for like teams on BPL and Liga BBVA, and I made a table which looks almost like the actual real life tables on Liga BBVA and BPL, but I don't know, it still needs some adjustment. I'm pretty sure you guys are better at those stuff than me. Okay, so the next thing is the beautiful cards. So I don't know, some of you will have problems with the card and some of you not. So basically, this is what you get by default. And I'll show you what I change. So if we, you know that there's a useful feature called compare. Why didn't I use that before? Alright, so this is the actual, this is the default sim and this is my sim to see what the difference is. It shows that. Okay, so the cars. So by default, the maximum cars you can get is 4. I mean, come on, just think about it. That is the limit. It can never go above that. Just look at an El Clasico match. Like there's chances that even 20 players can get yellow card, I'm not including the keepers, obviously, but there's still even a little bit of chance that every player can get yellow cards. So that's why I put it to 20, because it's realistic. And the chances of getting the yellow card, I put it to 30 instead of 75. I mean, dang. Just think about it. 75% chance in every match that at least someone will get a yellow card. That's like 1 in 2.5 chance. Like, but I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, so basically, I just played with the value and I thought 30 was pretty good. And basically the chance, it tells you what it is, pretty self-explanatory. Chance of a yellow card in the game. And the percentage drop is every time a player gets yellow card, this chance will get dropped by this number. So to be honest, it's impossible to get, like, if you divide this by this, which is like like 2.5 or 2.4, I don't know, but it just means that you can't get more than 2 cards on a game. You can just make it so it's 1, so there's more, cards on the game and stuff like that, but I kept it on 8 because I'm a cheater. No, actually, I don't know why. Because you can play with the value and see like what changes it make to to test if this actually works. I'll prove you guys. Let's say 20 cards and 100%. There's at least going to be 1 card, and it will drop by 8%. There's gonna be a lot of cards. So let's see. There should be a lot of cards. Alright, let's see. Dang, can't wait to see. Bam. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. That wasn't that much. Thought it would be more. Wait, am I changing the right value? Yeah, okay. Max cards. Let's put the drop to 1%. Let's have some more fun with it, shall we? Okay. That should give us even more cards, because every card you get is gonna drop by 1%, which just makes it 99, 98, 97. So there's gonna be a lot of cards. Bam, that's a lot of cards. So it's saying that 2 yellow cards, so it actually counts the yellow cards too. So you can always make it so that chances of I put it to 2 because this, I don't know why, I think it's a multiplier instead of an addition to the other chances, and it makes a huge difference if you just change it even a little bit. Just keep it to that, okay? Otherwise you'll see a lot of reds, almost like a lot of reds. So basically, I think 10 equals 100%. So 2 equals 20%. I think, which is enough. And you can always press Control Z to undo it. And what the heck just happened here? Alright. I'll go back up again. Sorry about that. What the heck just happened? Alright. Let me clear it. And let me compare it again. So, dang, why did it switch sides? Hold on. Okay, so do this, do that. Alright. So left side is okay, so this is the default side. This is my values side. Okay. Alright, so we've seen the card, which is still, self-explanatory, and the substitution, it tells you how much below the average a player should be considered for sub. By this I mean, I think it's talking about the rating of the player and their fatigue and stuff like that. And I've never actually had problems with subs before, but I just put the values a little bit too higher than that, because by default you wouldn't have a lot of the AI one substitute a lot. So yeah, this makes it have other players have chances. So yeah, you can do that. So it's just a chance. If how likely is to be a goalkeeper, how likely is to be a defender, midfielder, attacker, and this is the actual chance of it occurring, and this is the weight values basically. Alright, that's the substitution. And the injury, this is the fun part. This is where I fixed a lot of stuff, because this max injuries, I don't know. It sometimes doesn't, like, sometimes it glitches. Like, if you see in my Reddit post, like, I had, I don't know, like a lot of fucking injuries, and I don't know why. So so this value actually makes sense. So if you're not glitched like me, and if the sim is actually proper, then keeping to 3 is actually really reasonable. It's default to 2. So yeah. So there can be 3 injuries. And I lowered the chance because there would be too much injuries and it would just frustrate me. So I put it from 16% to 10%. And for every injury it would drop by 5%. So basically it's saying that there can't be more than 2 injuries. So this is this doesn't actually matter that much. Uh, for this, there's for this is gonna, the main percentage is 16 and it drops to, so there's the first injury, it will go to 1, then there's another injury that will go to 0%, so that's why it's 2. For me it's 3 because, there can still be, since division is decimal, so there still can be chances. And I'm getting tired talking so much. Okay, so and then there's what percentage of the injury should it be light injury, medium injury, or severe injury. Make sure the 3 values you put, they add up to 100%. Otherwise it might crash for you. So I change it to, light being the more, medium being, less than light. I'll like, because usually like I would have a really long injury, so I just changed it up. So this will make it so there's more, like, if there is, then there could be more injuries, but it's really like it's a light injury, like in real life. Um, and this value you don't need to change it. Just keep it to default. It's the amount of energy that's gonna drop if it's a light injury, a medium injury, or a severe injury. So it's pretty self-explanatory for these things. Now, fatigue. This is the maximum energy a player can have, and for goalkeeper it will adjust so that goalkeeper will not get as tired as outfield players, and the percentage influence have on the fatigue, so it's obviously going to be 100% because fatigue is based on stamina. And on the base I changed it from 21 to 17 because I would have consecutive match and the player would just get really tired, so I changed it to 17. So this is the base value of stamina, well, energy lost per game. I don't know why they put stamina here. So whatever the thing you use, this is the base value. There can be more, there can be even less. It's based on the stamina, of course. Alright, and this is the second most important thing, the influence. There's one thing if you wished for, is if you wish for this number to work as it meant to say, but home advantage is something I still haven't understand. Like, I'm playing with the value and I don't know what this does, to be honest with you. This is the value I need, like, help from you guys, because I don't know what this value like does. Like, I lowered it to 0, but there still had that away stuff. But if I put it to 10, the chances decreases. I don't even know why, but it does. So that is the home advantage, and rating is obviously based on team rating and how much influence it has on the match outcome, which is like the quality value as well. It's gonna change the quality value based on this. So like I said, the rating is determined by how much your player is rated and if they're playing on their position, like we tested, and there could be other things too. It's for you guys to figure it out. And fog is like the funny old game factor. The oh my god, I'm ability to have, just put it to 0. This is like until you want really random results that you can get with this value. Otherwise, just put it 0. So this just makes it so that bad teams have like a chance to win, because it's just a funny old game factor. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe that's the score. Well, that I just quoted them. That's what they said. The oh my god, I don't believe that happened factor. That's what EA said. Oh, it's not me. So competition basically determines. Oh, I don't know. Talking bad. Sorry. Determines like how much a competition level will affect, you know, the influence. So if they're in USL, it will be a little bit more tougher than there are in like Premier League and stuff like that. And the energy will obviously determine the influence. Like by default, it doesn't have any influence. So if you're playing like Dead Woods, then they would still like win on Steam because there wouldn't be any difference. So I made a little bit of difference there by adding 2. So yeah, energy actually matters now. And match importance, just put it to 0 because the match importance is broken on FIFA 15. Like I've tried a lot of different things to, research about it, and apparently it's broken. So just make sure it's 0. And domestic prestige is, the prestige of the team on the domestic level. So like teams like Chelsea, Manchester United will have higher domestic prestige than Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City. That's based off the FIFA database. If you guys want to see that, I'm not making it up. Hold on. So I actually researched even more and went into the database of the FIFA 15. And okay, and then chose my database, which you can if you just go to the database folder, and takes time to load. I just want to quickly show you guys. And okay, where the heck it is it? Okay, it should be on Teams. Let's see, Teams, there you go. So see, there's a domestic prestige. Chelsea have 20, Manchester United have 20, or Manchester City apparently has 18, and yeah, stuff like that. Bayern Munich have 20. I mean, you can sort it out. So Chelsea, Manchester United, Bayern Munich, all, this famous team, Olympiacos, Ajax, Real Madrid, Benfica, and Martial like have 20 prestige. So yeah, I didn't make that number up, guys. Alright, so then I've made it so that it's more influence, because teams like Chelsea, and because they win a lot based on their prestige too, so it actually plays a role, a little bit of role, but still a role. You can put it to 0 if you don't want it to influence it, but I'll keep it to this. Why not? And obviously the incidents. You don't have to worry about this. If this is 0, then we don't have to worry about fog. Just ignore that. Prestige multiplayer just multiplies this number with this to get it out of 100 instead. So if it was 8 multiplied by 5, then it'll be like 100, I think. Wait, not 100. Is it? I don't know. So it's like a percentage thing. Sorry, I was lost about and thoughts. So then we have incidents. Just put it to 200, and again put it to whatever you like. This wouldn't affect the outcome of the result that much, but you can lower it down if you don't like a lot of goals, cards, injuries, or anything like that. But I always put it to a high value like 80, just so I can have the full, because in matches there can be a lot of incidents if you think about it in real life. So yeah, it's more than what FIFA is saying. That's 40. It's double. So that's why I put 80 here. And make sure to don't touch this, because if you touch it, it will crash no matter what. And here comes the match rating. So how a match rating is determined. So I changed it so that a team win, the amount they gain. This is the team rating they gain. So 16 equals 1.6 rating they gain for winning. So rating is basically, I think it's a form rating, or it could be match rating. I think it's match rating, yeah. So -8 would probably be like -0.8. So yeah, you can increase. I increased the space because I don't know, I felt like it, and I really didn't pay much attention in here because it actually works good. So you can change, you can investigate that, but I suggest you leave this in alone and ignore it, because there are more important stuff coming up, and that is how a like a goal is, like who scored a goal, who did the assist, who gets the card, and who gets injured is determined. This is the most important thing. So yeah, so if you see, like, this is a comment which is for the developers to see what they're changing. So this is the ID and this is the value of that. So basically, like this is 17 equals heading, 17 equals player attribute heading accuracy. So yeah. Alright, I'll teach you guys about the shooting attributes, which is actually pretty interesting. Alright, so this is how many attributes that will influence, like the shooting attributes, which determines the score, obviously who scored the goal. So by default it's 5. So whatever this number is, it needs to be that many attributes in here. So if it's 5, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same goes for the values. If it's 5, then it needs to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values in here. But since form doesn't need any value assigned, so it doesn't require a 5. So make sure whenever you do, the form is the last thing you do. So you can just change, if you want to add something, you can just change it to 6 and put attribute 4 before this. And on here you could just do value 5 equals whatever the influence that attribute have. Alright, so basically number of attributes 5, the attribute 1 equals, and this is the ID of the attribute. So 17 equals heading accuracy, 15 equals finishing, 10 equals positioning. I change it because it was tactical awareness by default, but I made it so that the person who scores the goal actually needs to know how to position themselves. Because if you think about it in real, like strikers, strikers like Aguero, Diego Costa, like they know how to position themselves. That's why they score so much goals. So tactical awareness doesn't necessarily play a huge role, in my opinion, about who scores the goal. So yeah, that's why I just replace it with positioning, because it plays, in my opinion, it plays more vital role on who scores the goal. Alright, so now I'm gonna tell you guys this, okay? This will mind fuck you a little bit. I don't know why EA wanted to do this way. It took me a while to figure it out, okay? Alright. Well, I guess I can show you guys later. But about form, okay? If you put negative in here or minus, then what that means is it's gonna imply inverse effect. So basically that means that, let's just say, so a form will influence, so good form will influence a good outcome on shooting attributes. So if you put it to negative, so if it just signifies if they are in a low form. So if that happens, then whatever you put as the value signifies the, well, it just basically means that if you're in a bad form, then you're more likely to influence this attribute. So basically saying like, oh, if you're in a bad form, then you get more goals, which isn't true. That's why it's set to positive. So positive means good form, negative means bad form. I'm sorry if you guys got mind fucked a little bit right there, because I'm not good at explaining stuff like that. I hope you still got, the idea. So, yeah. Basically, I don't know if this attribute order make any difference. I don't think it does, but it could. But I highly doubt it does. So, now, the value, okay? So 0 is not tied up to the attribute. So 0 is the influence of position. It needs to be for every attribute. Every attribute need a value 0, which is basically how much influence is the score shooting attributes will be based on the position. So it will be like 5%. So it will be like, so where you are makes 5% difference on how likely you're going to score a goal, basically. So that's always going to be value 0. So a value 1 is the attribute 1, value 2 is the attribute 2, value 3 is the attribute 3, value 4 is the attribute 4, and since form doesn't need any value set, it can just be, it can either be bad form, good form, bad form, good form. So, like that. So, that form will influence the outcome of scoring. Good form will influence the outcome of scoring. That's basically what it means. Alright, now about the value. Okay, now the value have a twist as well. I wrote it down because I knew I would forget it. Alright, okay. Now the value, okay? Now you see that there is a negative, like the minus, and there is a positive, okay? Now I'll tell you guys what that means. Whenever a thing is minus, it just means the low attribute. So, when you put minus in here, it's bad form, just like low form. So same thing in here. If you put minus in here, it's like low ability in like energy. Okay, so if they have low energy, then you'll. So this is represented by this. Then they will have less chance of scoring a goal. So low attribute, less chance. High attribute, more chance. So just imagine this is all plus. So this represents like they got a good attribute for attribute 4. And so if it's a positive attribute, which is a good attribute, then it's gonna influence positively by 8%. Alright, so basically what it's saying that value to finishing will influence a lot positively on the shooting attributes, and heading will influence like by 6% positively on the shooting attributes, but energy will influence, if you have bad energy, then it will influence negatively by 3%. So you'll just lose the chance of scoring goals if you're really tired by 3%. And this is the position. Basically, the first position, this is like a weight. So 1 more likely, 2 not more likely, 3 mm, not very likely at all, and then not likely at all. So it's in order, and the value in here 210, it's in here. So -1 equals no setting, like nothing, and 0 equals defense, 1 equals midfield, 2 equals attack, and 3 equals goalkeeper. So the more chance of scoring goals is by strikers, so that's why 2 is on position 1, and then midfielder, then defender, and goalkeeper. And there's no goalkeeper in here, so that means the goalkeeper never score a goal in here. So that's basically what it means. And now everything else kind of works like this, but then you can see that there's chance of assist, which is self-explanatory. How likely a goal is to have an assister is in percentage. And we got the same old attributes in here. And I replaced aggression with long passing, because I thought long passing would, influence the chance of someone having more assists. Then yeah, I replaced that value, so which is 18, because I looked up the IT and looked up 18 equals long passing, so I just replaced this 8 with 18. And let's see, so attribute 1, and there's always form. So if you're in a good form, then you're more likely to give an assist. And so the majority of the percentage goes to value 1, which is vision, and value 3 is the second most influential asset attribute, which is short passing, and it goes on like that. And long passing has a influence of 15%, and if you have a low energy, it will negatively influence your assist attributes. And it all like shooting attributes, it has 5% influence on positioning, and obviously midfield will have more more chance of assisting than strikers, and strikers will have more chance of assisting than defenders. And there is also a chance for goalkeeper to have an assist, but it's really unlikely because it's on position 4, and they don't have the attribute necessary as well, so it's gonna influence like mildly. And then we have carding. I'm getting tired at this point. And yeah, I didn't change much about the attributes. I thought aggression, agility, stamina, standing tackle, and sliding tackle were a lot. And I think at this point you guys get the idea. So, it's commented as well, so you guys get the idea. And make sure whenever you change this, make sure to save and then check it out if it's good or bad by theming. You can theme a large score to see, like who's getting most of the assists, who's getting most of the goals. So if you're right with this values or not. That's how I tested mine. And so I made it so that standing tackle have, so I don't know, I found this weird, okay? So it's just saying that if you have a good attribute in standing tackle, you have more chance of getting a card. I don't know. Do you guys think that if you're bad at standing tackle, then you should like get more cards? But in FIFA, it's actually the opposite. So if you have a high rated on standing tackle, then it influenced positively by 8% on getting a card, which I found a little bit shocking, but I don't want to change it, And I also changed it so that goalkeepers can have a chance to get, cards too, which by default was -1, which is no setting. I changed to 3, which is the goalkeeper. And the injury is kind of the same, and I put this comment to remind myself the negative shows that it's the low attribute, and the number is the influence, just to remind myself for that. So yeah, I decreased the aggression a little bit. I don't think aggression have to influence a lot in injury. I thought the more influence we'll have is bad stamina would influence a lot on. Oh, actually decrease it. What did I increase it on? Oh yeah, I made it so that if you don't have a lot of strength, then it will influence a lot on injury, and if you don't have a lot of energy, if you're really tired, then you're more likely to get an injury. And I decrease the slide tackle influence here, and I don't know. Well, it makes sense if it's saying that if you're bad at if you're bad at slide tackling. Well, let's think about this, okay? Yeah, if you're bad at slide tackling, it will have negative attributes. So it's just saying that if you're good at sliding tackle, then you are more likely to injure yourself. Is that what it's saying? No, it's actually decreasing it. So okay, never mind. So if more sliding tackle, then it means less chances to injure yourself. See, it's a little bit mindfuckery. I don't know why they did it like that. So yeah, you'll get used to it though. And this is the position, which is 5 as well, 5 chance, and then it's like the midfield will have a high chance of getting injured, and the attacker, midfielder, and the keeper. And then the penalties, I made it so that penalty ability is more important than finishing, and energy makes even a slight difference, and position also makes a slight difference, which is by default doesn't make any difference. So yeah, I made it so that attackers are the best at penalties, midfielder second best, and stuff like that. Now here's the thing which I am not still sure about, is the weight of stuff. So basically, the weight 11 represents, like it's 100%, but this is a chance. This is what I know, but I don't know how this weight is calculated. So this is basically the player, right? So this player won't but so basically they check all the attributes, all right, and they sort it. So whoever have the most influence, so they just check all the stats and stats you mentioned here, and whoever has the most influence gets sorted up. So the 11 is the highest, and the 1 is probably the lowest, and this is the probability that that person can score a goal. So if they have super high, so the highest probability on the attributes, that they're gonna have 100% probability. But since it's weight, it can even take a random value too. So this doesn't matter that much. But I don't have a good knowledge on weight randomization technique. I'm pretty sure some of else you guys have it. So yeah, I didn't change much in weights because I didn't know, didn't want to mess up, and it's playing pretty fine at the moment. So yeah, basically remind yourself to always save it when you update it, because I forgot it a couple of times and I was like, why is it not changing? And that's the reason. So yeah, I hope you guys can research more about the weight and the away advantage stuff, and yeah, let's fix this mess simulation system so we can have more better competition, better realistic table, and it'll make carry me so much more better. So anyway guys, I hope you like it, and I'll talk to you later. Dang, I'm tired.